Now in the next example, it says a part-time employee is paid 2 dinar per hour for the first 20 hours in a week. So for the first 20 hours, this person is paid, or this employee is paid 2 BD per hour. Additional hours are paid 2.5 per hour. So if we have additional hours, then we have to pay 2.5. In addition, the company deducts 5%. So today we will show you how to compute how to compute percentages. Deduct 5% of the total weekly income hours. Here, let's take a scenario to show you what happens if the number of hours for the employee is less than 20 or equal to 20 or more than 20. So for the first 20 hours, 2 dinar, and for additional hours, 2.5. So let us create a program for our problem. So we need to create a new one, a new Java program, and I will copy the first few lines from previous example to save us time. Okay. So reduce the output screen, clear it, okay, until we run it again. Okay, we don't need this variable. So we will close main and we will close the class. Yeah. Now here for input, okay, we need to read from the employee the number of hours, and you know number of hours could be with the 0.5, like 1.5 hour. So we will assume that hours will be double, and it is preferable we define it here and we will call it hours. So for the input, we will ask the user system.out.println, and we will ask how many hours. And we are going to read from the same line, and we are going to read it into hours. So hours equal to n.next double. Now in here we have two scenarios. If number of hours, let's say if number of hours is equal to, let's say 15, then how we will compute the, let's say, salary? So we will say salary is equal to 15 multiplied by 2 BD. Okay. Now what if number of hours is equal, let's say, to 45? Then how to compute the salary? First of all, since the number of hours is greater than 20, so the first 20 hours will be multiplied by 2. So we will have 20 multiplied by 2 will give me the salary for the first 20 hours. Now, how many hours remaining additional hours? So to find the additional hours, we need to subtract 45 from 20. So this is the additional hours, and then we multiply by 2.5. So we are going to read number of hours in a variable called hours. So we are going to check for hours first. So if hours less than or equal to 20, then I need a variable. I'm going to call it salary. Okay, and we are going to read, we are going to compute salary as equal to hours multiplied by 2.0. Otherwise, else we have to do the other calculation. So it will be salary equal, now the first 20 hours are fixed, so it is a 20 multiplied by 2.0, or you can put 40, because 20 times 2 is 40. Plus, you have to take out the remaining hours from hours, 20 minus 20, and then you multiply by 2.5. So you don't multiply the whole hours by 2.5. First, the first 20 hours will be multiplied by 2, and then you subtract the 20 from hours, will give you the remaining, the additional, al-idafa. The idafa you multiply by 2.5. Now, in both cases, you're going to print at the output screen that your weekly salary is, and you are going to print the salary. If we run now the program, okay, just for testing, we will give number of hours 10. So 10 times 2 is 20. So we need, okay, to save it, and we will save it into today's project. What does it say? You must close that window before saving another. Okay, so which window is this? Okay. Oh, I need to give it a name different than the other one. So we're going to call it employee salary. And then we will save it. Okay, now we run it and see the result. So number of hours, we are going to give, let's say number of hours is 30, not 30, 10. So 10 multiplied by 2, so it will be 20. Now if you run it again, let's give it 45. So the answer is correct because 45 minus 20 is 25. So it is 25, and the answer is 102.5. Here we would like for again go back to the problem statement. In the problem statement, it says, in addition, the company deducts 5% of the total weekly income. So we have to take 5% from the weekly salary. Before we print, here we need to deduct, deduct 5% from the weekly salary. And how to do this? I can define another variable. I'm going to call it double. Let's say net salary is equal to salary plus salary multiplied by 0.05 minus, sorry, because we have to deduct. So it's a common mistake by students when they want to find, when they want to deduct 5%, they simply multiply salary by 0.05, which is wrong. In fact, this is the percentage. So you have to take it out from the salary, and you can save it into a new variable and then print this new variable. Or we can just simply save it into the same variable, salary. So the current salary minus salary multiplied by 0.05, and it will be saved into salary, and it's going to be printed. And now if you run it, there is an error. It says, oh, there is no comma, semicolon. Run it again. So it's asking for number of hours. If we give it 15, see, it is deducting 5%. And if we run it again and we give it 45, it is again deducting 5%. Here we would like to discuss two things. First of all, the deduction is 5%. So since it is constant, it is preferable you define it as a constant. So public static final double, and let's call it deduction, and it's equal to 0.05. And then we use deduction as a variable into the equation. So if we change our mind and change the deduction amount, we just simply change it up. Also, for the rate, we can have another one. And this will be for the rate, hourly rate, normal rate, and it is 2 dinar. And we can have also another one for extra rate, or we call it overtime rate. Okay, overtime rate, and it will be 2.5. So we can use these constants in our equation. It's better than we write them as constants. and here we will have what did we call it? We called it normal rate. So normal rate. Just to make sure no errors, we are going to load this. So there is an error. We double is not written correctly. Okay, and it is not colored, so it should be obvious from the beginning. And now 10 or 12 hours, this is the answer. And if we run it again so it is running correctly without any problem. So this is one thing about the program. The other thing, now we know now that number of hours should not be negative. So what if the user enter a negative number from the beginning? See, for example, if I run it now, if the user try to act smart and put -20, of course the program will not react smart on the input and it will give wrong answer. See, your weekly salary is -38. So we call this case invalid case. The program did not ask, or the question did not ask for it. But I'm giving you now, because in the future, if we ask you to write invalidity for input, you're supposed to know how to do it. So here we will check for the input validity. So if it is negative number, if hours is less than or equal to 0, nobody will ask for salary if that person worked 0 hours. Then what we have to do, we will do two things. The first thing, we will display a message, and this is why I'm putting curly bracket. We will say invalid input, hours should be positive. And the other thing is to quit the program. Quit the program. Don't let the program continue. Finish, because there is no valid data, so we should finish. And how to go out from the program? We write system.exit and we write 0 inside. Okay, this 0, you can put any number, but for the time you put 0, so it indicates that you are going out from the program normally. So run the program. So I'm writing system wrong, there is no M, I'm missing M. So run it again. And now how many hours? Let's assume -30, and I'm giving -30 here. And now see invalid input, it says invalid input, hours should be positive. We could do this for any program, it depends on the input. For example, height, if we want to read height from the user. So we don't expect that height is negative. So we can put if statement in the beginning of the program. We check for input validity. If it is negative, then don't continue the program. And if you don't want to continue the program, you just write system.exit 0. You can write other number than 0. And this is going to be used by the operating system because Windows is going to run your program. So there is no need. So if I write another number, for example, 1. Let us see what our program will give if we give 1. So run the program. And now here, see here, I'm giving -20. And when you run the program, it's already running, sorry, it's already running. So when you press enter, see it says invalid input, and see exit code for a process is 1. So it is giving you 1 because you put system exit.1. If you put -1 and you run it again, and you put input -230, and again see it is giving you -1. So whatever you put here as a number, then when your program terminates, it will give a report to the operating system, which is Windows, that I have exited the program with code 1 or with code 0. So now -230, press enter, so it exits with 0 code.